Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. You know what? I think I say that in almost every video, but I guess I'm just so excited to chat with you guys. So I came up with this idea, like to do this video probably maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and I thought it was a brilliant idea. I am ridiculous. I thought it was a good idea. I get a lot of questions that kind of revolve around a video like this for you guys that are beginners with doing twist outs or braid outs or any kind of style that involves like not doing a wash and go, I guess. And I actually got, I think it was a comment or a DM of someone saying, I wish I could get my twist outs like yours. And I'm like, girl, you can. So this is the video for if you've been having trouble with your twist outs, braid outs. I'm gonna kind of share with you guys stuff that I've learned along the way, because if you guys have been following me for a while, you know it was kind of rocky at the beginning, but in a sense to where there was really no like fail hair day for me. I always would just rock my hair no matter how it came out. But I do understand if you're a little bit more picky on the way that you like your hair, I do understand not feeling like it looks how you want it to look. Before we get into the video, make sure that you guys subscribe and thumbs up this video down below. I would love to have you as part of the family. If you guys want to know the mistakes that I've made and learned from with styling my hair, then just keep on watching. Okay, so the first mistake definitely depends on your hair type, your hair porosity, density, all that kind of stuff. One of my first, or my very first twist out tutorial, I did talk about how this was a good thing to do, and now I don't necessarily think it is for my hair type. So that mistake is styling on super wet hair as opposed to damp hair. Dries a whole lot faster than when I was styling on dripping wet hair. I always like to put my hair in a microfiber type towel instead of a towel, because towel can promote more breakage, and the definition comes out better for me on damp as opposed to dripping wet. I don't know why, but the definition is just better for whatever reason. Definitely depending on your hair type, because my mom likes to style on like dripping wet hair, but for me I kind of needed to be more damp. I wanted to make sure I said that because I did make sure that was like a super important point in the video, and my view on that has changed a lot. So that's the first mistake that I've made, styling my hair on super wet hair as opposed to damp hair. So the next mistake is not taking small enough sections. So because I have a lot of hair, it takes more sections and twists just because it's so much of it, I guess. In the beginning, I didn't really think that mattered that much, but it definitely does matter with my hair texture and type and everything. So it's super, super important for you to kind of learn your hair and figure out what size sections work the best for your hair. For me, I have to have small sections or else it just won't come out like really defined how I want it. Not unless that's kind of what I'm going for, because I do have a specific hairstyle that I like to do that gives me less definition. But if I want like that super defined hairstyle that you guys really like, then it has to be smaller sections that I'm twisting up or braiding up or whatever style that I'm doing. This next mistake is probably one of the most important and difference maker in getting your twist out or your braid out to be like spot on, and that is making sure that you're twisting all the way to the scalp. A lot of times when I'm seeing people like do twist outs that don't come out, their ends are twisted but it's like really poofy at the root because they didn't go all the way to the scalp to twist the hair. So super, super important that you do that, making sure that you start literally at the base of your head and twist it so that you make sure that the definition is root to tip and you don't have like excessive frizziness in the root right after you take down the hairstyle. Of course, as you sweat, as you like take showers, it's gonna get frizzier, but like for that first, second, third day hair, you want it to be as defined as possible, and that can be solved by making sure that you do that style all the way to the scalp. The next mistake that I've made in the past is not using enough product or using too much product. This is totally like trial and error when it comes to that, on learning the different type of styling products, whether it's a gel, a heavier cream, a more water-based lighter cream, a traditional oil, or more of a silicone oil. It just totally depends on what you're using to style your hair with, on the amount of product that you use. So for example, if I'm using something that's super heavy, like more of a shea butter, I'll probably use less products in each individual section than if I was using more of a like a thinner, maybe more like a water-based moisturizer that's not as heavy. I definitely would use more of that because you want to make sure that the moisture is really in your hair. So it kind of just totally depends on the product, but getting a feel for what your hair likes is really the main point of this video, honestly. Just getting a feel for it and just seeing what works and what doesn't work, and making sure that you're changing or sticking to those different things that you're doing with your hair based on what your hair is telling you. These next two mistakes kind of go together. The first one is not sealing my ends. So when I first was starting with twist outs, it wasn't like a regular thing for me to add more product to the end of my twist outs and braid outs before I put on like a roller or something like that. And it definitely makes a difference, because when you don't do that, add a little bit more product at the ends. You guys see me do that in my tutorials, but when I don't do that, then my ends come out a whole lot more frizzy, dry, and all of that. And you really want to protect your ends, the oldest part of your hair. You just want to make sure that when you're styling your hair, that you're taking extra care of the ends as well, and making sure that you re-moisturize it when you're done with each twist or braid. And you also want to add product there when you're first putting the moisture in your hair. And then the mistake on top of that I used to make was not curling the ends. For my hair type, I have to curl my ends, or else it will be like spiky as opposed to like a curly fro, which is totally depending on what kind of style you're looking for. But whether that's using like some perm rods at the ends or doing the hanging bantu knot technique that I've been doing lately, I will link the tutorial down below of how I learned how to do it. But whatever the case, just making sure that you're sealing those ends as well as curling those ends, just to make sure that the definition and the style goes from root to tip. You got the braid or the twist starting at the very root and twisting it on down, and then you seal that off with moisture and a curling tool or doing the hanging bantu knots, and then you're good to go. So that is all the mistakes that I could think of. I'm sure I have made many more mistakes when it comes to like twisting or braiding or styling my hair in general. Definitely a trial and error, but what I want to leave you guys with is to be gentle with yourself. Please be gentle with your hair. The hair that comes out your scalp is the only hair you got, so just be gentle with it and try to love it for what it is. And hopefully as you get more used to styling it, then it becomes easier. And I hope this video was helpful, just to also let you guys know that I have made mistakes too when it comes to styling my hair, and I still make them. Hopefully this video was helpful. Make sure that you guys thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and I promise I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.